One day, a young man approached Gautama Buddha and said to him, "O Buddha, why are my thoughts so impure? I do not wish them to be impure, but they are always full of desire, and I am very preoccupied with thinking about them. I waste my energy and time thinking about them, and because of all these thoughts, I can't help but think that I'm impressed by women. I can't get them out of my head." Buddha smiled and asked the young man, "Do you know what desire is?" The boy replied, "Buddha, I don't know what desire is, but yes, whatever it is very bad." Then Buddha said to the young man, "First, you must understand that by nature, not everything within us is bad. Our lives need something. Desire isn't bad. It's a feeling that makes us feel a lack. To get something, we do everything we can. For example, if you lack money, you will feel the desire to obtain more. Desire, therefore, is nothing other than the lack of something. That is to say, a feeling of need. And when this need is physical, we call it desire." The boy said to Buddha, "Buddha, I understand what desire is, but tell me where it comes from. And how is it born?" Gautama Buddha replied. The boy said, "Buddha said that this is the problem. People have a false idea of desire. They try to hide it, but desire itself isn't bad. What's bad is desiring it inappropriately. We live only for what we desire. Our sole purpose is to satisfy it, and we think about it constantly. But all of this is false," Buddha said to the young man. The young man replied, "Because animals also perpetuate their lineage." Buddha said. The young man said, Gautama Buddha said, "Nature has not taught animals to mistakenly take desire as the basis for their actions. But human beings use the power of their minds to exploit everything nature has to offer for their own entertainment. We humans have perverted desire for our own amusement. Nature gave it to us to nourish our generation, but humans have transformed it for their own ends. Thus, evil desire is also evil." The young man asked, "Master, why does evil desire dominate us?" Gautama Buddha replied, "You must listen and understand. Once upon a time, there was a guru and his disciples in an ashram. Each day, the disciples went to have lunch in a village outside the ashram. One of the ashram's disciples went to this village for lunch. On the way, they crossed a forest. One day, he saw a boy hiding behind a tree. He approached him and asked, "Little boy, why are you hiding behind a tree?" The boy replied, "Can't you see what I see?" The disciple looked into the woods and saw some young girls complaining. They looked to be 14 or 15 years old. Then he asked the boy, "The girls are complaining over there. What are they hiding?" The boy looked at the disciple and said, "Don't you see how the girls are complaining? Look at their faces. Look at their bodies. Look at her legs. Look at her hair. Look how her hair flows." Beauty seemed omnipresent. The disciple gazed at the forest and saw it. He was afraid of nothing, but now he hid and watched them. And as he watched them, he was overcome with emotion and said, "What I'm doing isn't right. I should leave here." Then he left. He arrived at the ashram. He went there and began to work. But what he was seeing now was unfolding right before his eyes. He thought the same thing. It was difficult for him to see everything. He didn't want anything. At dawn, he left the ashram to pay the rent. He approached a tree near the forest, where the child was already. I was with the boy and I was looking at the girls coldly. I did that every day. It was my daily routine. The disciple had lost all desire. He was constantly lost one way or another. He was not properly fulfilling his ashram duties. I couldn't pay the rent. I couldn't afford to eat properly. I told him I would cut off his water. I turned off the water. I did what you told me. The teacher smiled and said, "Watch carefully." The water stopped. It flowed out behind her and floated from side to side. "Look closely. This rock is in front of us." The water changed course and continued on its way. And this is what happened. The teacher told him that it happened to him too. He tried from time to time. He tried with all his might. But every time you take the wrong path, you make a mistake. No matter how big the rock, the water will always change its course. Seeing this, the professor told him that it was impossible to escape bad thoughts. This did not convince me. The professor led the student to a river where the water was floating. The student explained that the water came from the river. If you block the passage where the water was floating, can't you stop it from floating? The student replied that yes, it could. If you block the passage where the water was floating, the water will no longer float. So water doesn't float. The student then blocked the passage where the water was floating and told it that it wouldn't float. He added that if water doesn't float, how can forests get their water? These forests need water, and there are forests that need water every day. They're going to die. What will happen to them? We have to cut off their water supply. The student listened to the other and blocked the path where the water was floating. He asked what would happen if the water spread into the forest. The other replied that all the forests the water passed through would die. The student laughed and told him he didn't need to intervene. All he had to do was maintain his balance. If the forests didn't float, they would die. The student told him that if he forbade him from thinking about the forest, who would think of it first? The student told him that the forest would be... The student told him that when we try to chase away bad thoughts, they only penetrate us more deeply. Therefore, we should never rush them. The student explained that our negative thoughts stem from poverty. Often we lack balance, but by having a few negative thoughts, we manage to achieve it. The student told him that when we try to stop them, they penetrate us even deeper. Therefore, we should never try to push them away. The student told him that they penetrate us even deeper. Therefore, we should never try to push them away. The student told him that when we try to stop them, they penetrate us even more deeply. So, never. The student told him that when we try to stop them, they penetrate us even more deeply. So, never. The student told him that when we try to stop them, they penetrate us even more deeply. When we try to stop them, they penetrate us even more deeply. Therefore, one should never try to push them away. The student told him that when you try to stop them, they penetrate you deeper and deeper. Therefore, never. The student told him that when you try to stop them, they penetrate you deeper and deeper. So never. The student told him that when you try to stop them, they penetrate you with more force. So never. When you try to stop them, they penetrate you with more force. They penetrate you with more force. Therefore, never.